Hey everybody, welcome back to my Unprocessed Life. It's Thursday and I'm headed to work this morning. It is day 4 of the pound of greens a day, the green pound a day challenge that I'm doing. And I'd like to say I have been successful day 1 through 3, and looks like I'm going to be successful today too. I've got 2 quarts of a beautifully green spinach banana smoothie. And so in the smoothies that I've been making, I've been adding in some protein powder. I think we've discussed that before, because I want to make sure that I have a good amino acid profile, and I'm getting all the nutrients I need as well. So I've got that in there. I've also I've got some probiotic stuff that's going in there as well. Then I've also been putting, this morning I started with some liver treatment powder. You know, I have a fatty liver, and that's really where this all kind of started, up until I got the diagnosis of a fatty liver, which was like 2 years ago now. I really wasn't all that concerned with my health. That was, for me, the scary point was you got a fatty liver, which is in essence a precursor to cirrhosis. And when you look up cirrhosis of the liver, it is a horrific way to die. It is not, and there's no cure. There's just, and apparently you can have cirrhosis of the liver either from way too much alcohol, which is what we usually hear about, where the liver can't filter it out. But apparently, the fatty, if you are too fat and your liver has too much fat in it, it can cause the same thing. So that was where I started with trying to educate myself and learn about what I needed to do. And of course, the doctor said you need to lose weight, and that was about as. Of course, the doctors that I found are not at all nutritionists. What they are is they're doctors, and the doctor that I have right now is actually, in my opinion, an excellent doctor. He diagnoses things really well, and I trust him. I trust him a lot. Now, he and I have different points of view in regards to nutrition and being vegan and healthy and things like that. And if we were to sit down and have a full, long discussion, I'm sure that we could come to a middle ground somewhere. But every time I go see him, I'm paying him for his time, so he doesn't have time for a several-hour conversation where we can kind of go back and forth and discuss different pieces. And really, he would have the upper hand because he has so much more medical training than I do. He just doesn't, or I assume he doesn't have as much nutrition training. And really, I haven't accomplished what I need to accomplish yet. The proof's not in the pudding for me personally, so it makes it hard for people to take things seriously when they don't already see the results. And I can understand that because I felt that way for a really long time. Anyway, so I've got my protein powder in there, along with some I don't know what's in it, I don't remember, but it's a powder that's supposed to help detoxify the liver, help work on that. It's not a magic bullet or a silver bullet in regards to that. It's just an additional thing to try to add in to help the body. The thing is that you can't use food as a medicine in the same way that we use medicine from the scientific world or the medical world to treat things. In the medical world, we have a symptom and we treat it with some sort of treatment, some sort of prescription or surgery or something along those lines, right? And it is in direct correlation to what the symptom is. So we want to relieve the symptom by doing this. A bad example of this would be a headache and aspirin or Tylenol, because you have a headache, it's because a lot of the time, your standard headache, not a migraine or any challenging, but a standard headache, you're going to have the blood flow is going to be restricted, and that's why it hurts. And then if you take aspirin or Tylenol, it will actually cause the restriction to be loosened, and that's why it relieves a headache. It's also why it relieves pain, because that inflammation that is causing the pain will loosen up some based on aspirin or Tylenol being given. So you're treating a symptom, and it's solving the problem for the moment as far as the way you feel. It may not be solving the underlying issue as to why there was a restriction there to begin with. But when you deal with trying to heal something with food, the difference is that you are not eating the greens or the fruit or taking the supplements, the D vitamins. You're not doing that to specifically fix an issue or a symptom in the way that you would think of a medical treatment. We take a pill for that. What the pills, the way they work is they kind of go in and try to attack the issue. Whereas when you treat yourself with food, the food supports the body to be able to create what's needed. And they're two different philosophies. The philosophy behind treating yourself with food and getting healthy, eating a diet of fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds, is if I give my body all of the things it needs, all of the tools it needs, all of the nutrients it needs, it will figure out a way to heal me. It will figure out a way to become healthy if I give it the right tools to do that. Whereas if you are going through the medical community, the philosophy is we've got a pill that's got some chemicals and medication in it. When you take that, it will go and attack this, that, or the other thing that is ailing you and relieve the symptom or get rid of the symptom or something along those lines. So those are two completely different philosophies. When you start to take a look at, and this video is getting really long, so I'm gonna cut it down, and maybe we'll talk more about this later. But when you start to take a look at things like the gut flora and the microbiome and the way those things work, your body will naturally produce things like antibiotics that you need if you give it the right stuff to do that. Now, when people say that, I know a lot of people get up in arms and say, well, you have to have antibiotics. Antibiotics that we take are very detrimental to our body, and sometimes they're absolutely necessary. They save lives when used appropriately, but they also do a lot of damage to the body in the process. Now, I remember when I was talking to a doctor of mine a number of years ago, and she specialized in weight loss, and at the time I was trying to lose weight using a medical program. And she was an MD, and she prescribed medication. The medication that she prescribed was phentermine, and I forget the other one, but it would rotate between phentermine and one other one. And then, of course, it was a very low-calorie diet. And when I was talking with her about the health benefits and whatever of it, what she said was, okay, phentermine's not good for you. It's a drug that forces your heart to beat, and it's bad for your heart. But when you weigh the risk between that and how obese you are, we feel that it is medically advisable for you to do these drugs, this speed for a short amount of time to be able to lose the weight. And that will overall be more healthy for you. But it's not healthy for you to take these drugs. It's actually damaging to your body. It does damage to your heart. It is not good for you. And she was very plain and open and honest about that. And she said, so what we do in the medical world is we have to weigh the risks. Yeah, are the antibiotics good for your body? No, they're not. But the risk of what you have that your body hasn't been able to get rid of versus taking a course of antibiotics, which one is more, where is the risk? What is the risk-reward ratio? And that is the way that the medical society tends to view radiation and chemotherapy, everyone will tell you that is honest about it, is that radiation and chemotherapy are both bad for you. They do horrific things to your body. And if you don't believe me, take a walk down any cancer ward anywhere in the world. Anywhere people are getting chemotherapy, their hair falls out, they're more susceptible to other illnesses because it rips their immune system a new one. Now, again, I'm not against the medical community. I think they're very, very valuable. And I think you have to use them in a way that is smart. You have to be able to understand that some things, immediate traumas, emergency medicine, acute problems, those things are what the medical community does really, really well. And you have to go and trust them for that kind of thing. But when we're starting to talk about diseases are a different deal, because the diseases that we have we're not very good, and the medical community is not very good at healing disease. They're good at trying to make it tolerable or get rid of some of the symptoms. But if you've ever watched a drug ad of any type ever, the side effects sometimes are worse than the actual problem that you have. So, when you start to put this all together and you start to think, okay, what is the risk reward for what I'm doing? For me, it's absolutely a no-brainer that if I have a disease like a fatty liver or diabetes or cancer or things along those lines, then I need, as long as I'm not so far gone that it's not possible, what I need to do is give my body what it needs to be able to fix the problems. That is the philosophy that I'm going with. So when I say that I'm putting something in my smoothie that is to heal my liver, I don't really mean that I'm putting this in here to heal my liver, that it's going to fix my liver, that it's a silver bullet or a magic bullet. What I mean is that I'm hoping that all of the different supplementation that I'm doing will give my body the tools it needs to be able to fix itself. And so there you go. There's my morning rant. It's been really long. I hope it was informative for you. I know a lot of people already know this. It's something that we've learned over the last 4 or 5 years. It's been quite the journey, but I felt that it was important to reiterate it here. So, if you want to follow me on Instagram, that's where I post pictures of everything I eat in a day. Then you can do that at myunprocessed.life. Of course, you can always email me at myunprocessedlife@gmail.com. And if you have some comments, please put them down below. I try to respond to comments every couple days, and anytime I have an opportunity. If you want to be notified when new videos come out, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because normally I do 2 videos a day. Sometimes, like yesterday, I only do 1, and then on the weekends I don't usually put anything out, but usually Monday through Friday I have a couple videos a day. And so if you want to be notified of those, make sure you click the subscribe button, and if you liked it, go ahead, hit the thumbs up and give me a little bit of Google love. So until next time, thank you so much for spending time with me. I know there's so many things out there that you could be watching and spending your time on, and some of it's by far more entertaining than I am. So I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate the time that you spend with me. I know that it is. I know that your time is important, because my time is important, and I love doing this, and I love spending time with you. So just wanted to say once again, thank you so much for spending time with me here at My Unprocessed Life.